Okay, drop your thoughts. So I'm pretty sure it's been said before, but I'm gonna elaborate it, I think. Okay, so you really can't pick your consequences. You really can't pick your consequences. Like, let's say you do something small. I'm gonna get right into it. Let's say you do something small. Like, you're on the bus and you flick a dude's ear or flick a girl's ear or flick a kid's ear, and they turn around and stab you in the eye. Now, that may be extreme, and that may be that may be that's way too much to be capitalizing on that situation. But at the end of the day, should you have been messing with that person? You don't know what's going through that person's head. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what's going through. And you really can't pick your consequences. You really fucking can't. You really can't. Let's say, or you know, what was the other point I wanted to make? Like, you know, or, you know, or especially, or, you know, especially when people think that when people do wrong, it really trips me out when people do wrong, like morally wrong, and then some super like extreme capital. Let's say, a guy is robbing a bank, right? And you got a good Samaritan that pulls out the gun after the bank robber pulls the gun on the bank teller, and then the good Samaritan pulls out a gun and shoots the dude, goes bam, 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 but he doesn't kill him. And then the other dude goes, well, I want to sue because he used too much force against me. Like, and then you go, well, you can't pick your consequences. You used what the fuck you doing robbing a bank? Well, people have reasons to rob a bank, and, you know, I'm not going to get into that. But what I'm saying is you were robbing a bank, which is morally breaking the law, and somebody shot you, and now you feel wronged? You know what I'm saying? You can't pick your consequences. You really can't. You do something to somebody, and then 10 years later somebody does something to you. Maybe it was just delayed. But you can't pick your consequences. You really can't. You punch somebody and you think you're tough and you know, what was it? There was this one video where this dude was beating up on this handicapped guy, and another guy came over and rescued the other guy who was handicapped. And the dude that was doing the bullying, he was like, well, what's your problem? What? Or a prank. Here's what really gets me. If you're pulling a prank on somebody, there are certain pranks that that are not pranks, okay? They're not pranks. Like, you know, don't set me on fire when I'm sleeping and think I'm going to smile at you and say that's funny, okay? That's not funny. Or, you know, let's say somebody has something contagious. I'm talking about deadly contagious, and he or she gets a group of friends that get around and go, hey, I'm gonna pretend, you know, just to make light. Don't do that. You better say I am just kidding, and you better make sure you better say I'm just kidding fast. You better not play. There's certain things you can't play about, and you can't pick consequences. You know what I'm saying? You can't pick consequences. So it's best to just stay high and leave people the fuck alone.